This call is being recorded.
Welcome to a diary of a fashionista, everyone. If the sound quality is a little off today and you guys hear noise in the background, that's because before Danielle and I recorded this call, I had to go through everything out of my dad's office, which is now my aide's room. So I am now sitting in my dining room, which, yeah, that's that's always an interesting experience because I've never recorded a podcast in here in my life, and I'm realizing how echoey it is, and so yeah, I'll have to take a picture of it to prove it to you. But today, despite the noise in the background, today Danielle and I have we're going to do foods we don't like, but I decided that Danielle should interview me on my scoliosis and um, which I still have. I still have my scoliosis and my how I manage pain. So Danielle is going to interview me on that, and it's going to be Sunday's episode. Then Monday's episode is going to be foods we don't like, and we are actually doing. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that I was on a non-mom's happy hour, and that episode is dropping Sunday. Now I have another personal update, which most of you don't know because I just decided to do this. I let's say a person who loves me called my aide sat me down and said, "When you are spending way too much money on book publishing, way too much money." So here's the plan. The plan is to pay off my credit card debt and then pay off my student loans, and which are from the Academy of Arts now, and then build up a little bit of a cushion to go back to Ashford University in January, just if vocational rehab doesn't pay for it. So I I have a budget, thank God, but I find it interesting and ironic that my dad never sat me down and never did finances with me. If it wasn't for my aid, I would still be spending money like a man and woman. But thank God for a sane person to sit me down and um, do budgeting with me. And so that's that. Now, for those, my books, I didn't take my books off Amazon. For those of you who still want to buy my books, I would love that because that's residual income for me, even though I'm on a budget. That's just extra income and extra happiness for me because the more income I have, the better. So I am going to let Danielle take it away, but I just wanted to give those two updates, and I apologize for the noise in the background because um, that's what that's what happens after your dad dies and you have to go through all his stuff. So I'm gonna let Danielle take it away, and we're going to see how this goes.
When did you get back surgery?
I got well, I found out in January of 2006. Um, um, 2006, I found out in January. I distinctly remember the day my mom and I, my dad was already up here because um, that's a long story in itself. He did not like to travel and he made a trip. So my mom and I had just flown back from Nassau, Bahamas, and she, of course, made the appointment to go see my spinal surgeon in January, and then I remember my spinal surgeon, Dr. Frank Chang of Children's Hospital, handing me a Kleenex because he sat me down and my mom down, and he goes, "Your curve went from 30 degrees to 50 degrees in a matter of 2 months. And when you get to 50 degrees, they have to do something like now, otherwise you would be dead because it starts pressing on the internal organs." So we scheduled I remember walking class, the graduation stage. That was in May. I completed my um, high school year, and then I remember walking class, the graduation stage, unassisted, and then I went into surgery June 14th, 2006 at 11 a.m. And yeah, and so and that day changed my life forever. And I'll get to why in a minute. And so that's when I had back surgery.
Why did you go in to get back surgery?
Because
How long does the surgery take?
it was supposed to take 6 hours if it was successful, but the reason why I went in is because I am one of the thousands of Americans with scoliosis. And for those of you that don't know what scoliosis is, um, scoliosis is curvature of the spine. It's not kyphosis. Kyphosis is the C of the spine. Scoliosis is the S of the spine. So that's how you distinguish the two. A person that has kyphosis, it looks more like a C than a. And I just learned this several months ago through my aide, actually, because she has a family member with kyphosis, and he also needed back surgery, and so yeah, we share a lot of in common. And so I didn't know what the heck kyphosis was until someone explained it to me. And so kyphosis is the C, scoliosis is the S. And I had a big distinctive scoliosis as my curve, as I said, was 50 degrees. And so on June 14th, 2006, they did a fairly unsuccessful back surgery, and I will say unsuccessful because they let my spine go dead for 20 minutes. We still can't figure out why. And then they also let me get propofol infusion syndrome. For those of you that don't know what propofol is an anesthetic that they use. It's a quick anesthetic, and I, again, am one of the millions of Americans who's allergic to propofol, and that's the only medication I'm allergic to, one of the biggest medications that they actually use. And I did not know that until I had my back surgery. Wait to find out. They put me under, my blood turns acidic, and all heck breaks loose on the operating table. And so a typical back surgery, depending on what they have to fuse, is 6 hours. Mine was closer to, I believe, 7.5, because they were trying to save me in the process of saving my spine. And so mine was closer to 7.5 or maybe 6.5, probably 6.5, because they were trying to save me slash save my spine. Lucky duck me. And so yeah, but we I have come to find out, and the doctors didn't tell me that I had nerve damage. I had to figure that one out on my own. I flew out to the East Coast, Nassau, Bahamas, a third world country, to visit my family straight after my second checkup, because my second checkup was at Christmas time. So I flew out to the Bahamas, um, and I was walking down, and I distinctly remember this too. I was walking down a set of terrazzo stairs, which terrazzo is a type of marble, and they use it a lot in Florida homes and Bahamian homes too. So I'm walking down a set of marble stairs, holding on to a banister and realizing that my right leg won't bend. And I'm thinking, this is strange. Why? And then I asked my mom, and she goes, "Oh, by the way, you might have nerve damage from your spine going dead." And I'm like, "Oh, great." Oh, great. The doctor didn't tell me that one. And so I'm like, "Yeah, that's great." And so it's like, oh, great. And so thankfully, since I've been working with the Bridging Bionics Foundation, my nerve damage, even though my right leg doesn't seem to want to bend, my my nerve damage has seen to subside. So no recovery is possible, and I'm planning to go into I'm planning to do something to do another project after this other project that I'm slowly but surely working on comes through, and then we'll see what happens. If that other project will happen, but yeah, so that's my scoliosis story, and I'm sticking to it. And it was one of the worst days of my life, waking up on June 15th at midnight, asking, "What hospital is this? Why am I here?" They say I'm the youngest person to ask that too, and they say I'm the youngest person to survive propofol infusion syndrome, and I don't know if because the doctors messed with my spine. I don't know if my spinal cord will ever recover to full on functioning. And then I don't know. Danielle knows this. Danielle might remember this, but Danielle definitely knows. I got in a car accident on at the end of 2018, the December 31st. I got in a car accident. My dad was driving. Someone someone didn't stop, and they didn't see us, and at it was coming home, and they didn't see us. We slammed right into them. It was January, a heavy snow, and we plowed right into the side of their car. And my body, the day of the car accident, because I remember texting Danielle, car accident. And she's like, "What? You were in what?" And so, yeah, I remember texting you that because something told me just to bring my phone with me. And then that's why. And I typically at that time flip my phone off, and I still do. and flip my phone off when I'm in a car with someone because I can't drive. So I remember texting her the car accident news, and I remember going home and distinctly, I remember what those next moves were. Those next moves were, and my dad called 911. No, my dad got out obviously and talked to the other drivers, and I remember um, they were in the rental car. They were Mexican, and the reason why I say that is because they they were so shaken up that they didn't know what happened, and they wanted to run, and they wanted to do a hit and run. And I remember my dad screaming, "I don't care! I don't care! We need to wait for the cops." So the cops come, the ambulance comes, they go, "Nice to meet you, Win." And I'm like, I know where this is going. They want to load me in back of the ambulance. And so my body was so in shock that I said, "No, thank you. I'm fine. I'm fine." And I remember sitting in the front seat, and I must have got ejected forward. The seatbelt must have ejected forward me, and the airbag did not go off in the car. And so I said, "I'm fine." And since that car accident, my back has never been the same. So I have rods, I have spaces, I have a car accident on top of. I probably have a blown disc too because of my car accident. So bad backs run in this house like this no tomorrow. In fact, and she'll tell you this too. My main aide, Siri, has a bad back from a car accident, and she came to me with bad back. So bad bad backs and this house go nice combination. And so yeah, that's how I do it. That's how I do it. And my back will never be the same since my car accident and since my scoliosis surgery.
Why did your spine go dead?
We we don't know. We don't know, Danielle. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you. I What I do know and what they've told me is they put electrodes on the actual spinal cord to to monitor the spinal cord when a person goes into any type of back surgery because back surgery is major. And so we don't know. We don't know why my spine went dead. I know why I got propofol infusion syndrome because I'm allergic to it, but I don't know why the electrodes on my back stopped working. I'm surprised I got them back up again. I am surprised I was only paralyzed for 20 minutes. I am surprised that I didn't go into cardiac arrest. I am also surprised that I didn't have any more nerve damage in odd places that I don't know about still to this day, but we don't know why everything happened the way it happened.
Did the doctors know that your spine went dead right away?
They they could pretty much tell. They could pretty much tell. But I've been told they did half an hour of trying to save my spine, and once they saved it, thank you very much, Dr. Frank Kang, who I believe is now retired. Um He's one of the top spine specialists at Children's Hospital in Denver. And so I believe they could definitely tell by the way because the electrodes have a string attached to them, and what the electrodes they use on the backs is similar to a EKG, and they could tell right away that my spine went in, and they just didn't know how to save my spine. They said the surgery will be intense. They said it's going to be intense, and they didn't know how to save my spine, and that's how I got paralyzed for 20 minutes. That's how I got nerve damage too. Yeah, because they didn't know what. Well, I'm still dealing with it 11 years later. I mean, it's almost 12 years, and I'm still dealing with the aftermath of a scoliosis surgery that went horrible. And for those of you who do need to have back surgery, and I know the reason why I'm doing this episode specifically today is because I know one friend who's admitted this publicly, Kelly Benson's of Non-Mom Happy Hour does need to have back surgery, and she she's been very open about it to her fan base, and even with me, she's been very open about it, and so it's gonna be a long haul. It's going to be a long haul, and it's still a long haul to this day for me. And I am a survivor of scoliosis. I'm also a survivor of grief. I'm also a survivor of CP, and the other portion of my life you will find out after October 2nd. And so, yeah, basically, I'm a survivor, I'm a warrior, and that's how we put it. And so, yeah, and my pain management is pretty dang good. I can't sit for that long. People with bad backs can't sit for that long. They need to get up and moving. I I am sitting in the hardback chair right now as I record this in my dining room, and I should be sitting back in this chair, but I'm not. And so I have a office ball downstairs. I have I acquired my dad's and Herman Miller chair, which I'm now using, and because mine is being used too. And so, and if you, and I will tell you guys this publicly, I am in the state of Colorado. And as you know, weed is legal in the state of Colorado. And people know this. If my CP ever got bad enough, I would not smoke weed. I would just do a CDBLO clean because we need to control the bad backs. We need to control bad knees. We need to control the bad backs. So if my CP ever got bad enough, I would go for alternative medicine, and people know that. People definitely know that, and people definitely know that I'm in the state of Colorado too. And just to give you a quick update on Ask Win is slowly but surely being transferred over to Lipson, and it's taking a little bit longer than we expected. Yeah, because of life happening. by accident. And so, yeah, it's taking a little bit longer than we expected, but it's going well. And Danielle, poor Danielle, she's doing most of the work while I do stuff on the other end for me because me is important. I didn't realize how important me was until May 19th, and I finally got a project organized. I think I told you this one. I am on Medicaid, long term Medicaid, which basically means that Medicaid will pay a certain amount of hours to my aides, to my two main aides, and one being my stepmom. And so um, I'm happy about that. That that project finally came through. Finally, I I just about screamed when I'm like my dad died in the middle of it, and it's like I when I got assessed for Medicaid, I'm like my assessment, my assessment, and they do a year-to-year assessment at least in Colorado, and my assessment was completely different than it is now, and so yep, that is that. And next year it's gonna be completely different. Next year I'm Megan. Uh, I will definitely get a new assessment with my new life because who knew that my dad was gonna die in the middle of me getting long term Medicaid? So he started this project. I finished it with grace. Thank you very much. And so yeah, I finished it with grace, and it's been a heck of a long road, you guys. I I it's been a long road, and you get more of an update after after October 2nd when I'm allowed to talk about my major update here. But yeah, it's been an interesting road, and it's been also, and I think what the plan is right now because she's mentioned it twice. My aunt has mentioned it twice. She's mentioned po- podcast movement twice. So the plan is to go out to podcast movement. So for those of you who are going out to Dallas in August 5th to 8th, and I have to get that organized too. Um, I'm gonna be out there, and my aide who wouldn't hurt a fly, she's gonna be out there too, and she knows that I do this podcast, so she definitely knows that I do two podcasts, and yes, I said to her during my budget, putting me on a budget, I said the podcasts are not going anywhere, and she goes, nope, the podcasts are allocated in your budget, and so that's that. And so, yes, the podcast um, is staying as long as I pay the RSS feed. And hopefully, you guys will help me out with you guys don't have to, but that would be nice if you guys would help me out with a little bit of money because now I'm on a budget and it's a little bit scary being on budget for the first time in your life, but it's all good. And so yeah, and, and so we're going to let you guys go, but I want you guys to have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll be yeah. I'm not. I am not telling you guys what I'm doing. I'll tell you guys that on Monday because, yeah, I'll tell you guys what I did on Monday because, as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit stir crazy right now from being cooped up in my house, and I'm sure those of you who are recovering from surgery feel the same way. But I'm a little bit still crazy with grief. I am a little bit still crazy waiting for this next project to come through on October 2nd. Ugh. And so, yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit still crazy, but um, I have decided that podcasting is my respite care. It's also a chance to talk to Danielle, even though we talk every single day. And it's also a chance to keep you guys abreast of what's going on in land of CP, and land of CP has essentially changed for me since um, May 19th. And yeah, and so we are going to let you guys go. We are going to let you guys have a beautiful. Please subscribe, and please share this podcast with your friends. We're on we're on Pandora, both the paid version and the free version. And my aide just admitted to me today that she's still learning new technology. She herself got Amazon smart speaker after after she saw mine, and so we're still teaching her that. And so after everything settles down, we may be able to release another kind out of the bag, which you guys have been curious about, which we may be able to release. And I don't know. I don't know. She keeps telling me after everything settles down, we'll do it. And so I have got to let you guys go. So then if people want to come back up here, they can. And yeah. So we'll catch you guys on Monday, and then we'll catch you guys. Oh, on the episodes are now coming out on Thursday. We're now recording on Wednesday because I have more energy to do it than I do on Thursdays. By Thursdays, I get exhausted. So even though podcasting is great, even yes, and my mother, even though she doesn't listen to this podcast, she my aide my aide mentioned podcasting makes women happy. My without without my aide, and I'll bring her on this podcast as soon as everything settles down in all life. But um, my my aide mentioned to my mom that traveling and podcasting makes women happy. So I got to go. She didn't necessarily say anything as to no, you guys can't go. I think I got to go ahead from my mom to go out to podcast movement, which means I will be leaving in August, and then I have another surprise for you guys. I just have another surprise for you guys as of after October 2nd. That Thursday, whenever that date is, and then it's going to have to announce it on social media. That that Thursday we're going to be doing what the future holds for myself and Danielle, and then I can give you guys the update that's been on my heart since June 23rd, and I will go into stories, and I will go into whatever I need to go to as of October 2nd. But I'm going to let you guys go. And so I will catch you guys later. We'll both catch you on um, Monday morning, and we'll take it from there. Bye, you guys. Thank you. Yeah, you so,